time again for Coach's Corner with Jay, featuring the Knowles head coach, Jay Sarcosta, and our host, Jeff Stevens.
No matter what size you are, maybe it's time to transform your physique. For your convenience, Transforming Physiques is open all day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday, Fridays till 7, and Saturday 9 to 3. Take advantage of free weights and heavy-duty workout equipment. For expert advice, call trainer Jay Abel to schedule one-on-one fitness training. Aerobic classes will be starting in September. Adult, student, and family memberships are available at Transforming Physiques Fitness Center and Tanning Salon. The Woodsfield Clinic, a division of Wheeling Hospital, opened recently with familiar and friendly faces in the office. Joan and Janie know our area and many of the patients, which is a huge asset to the clinic. Dr. Charles D'Annunzio brings 30 years of healthcare experience and is focused on the needs of a rural practice. The Woodsfield Clinic will be expanding to 5 days a week starting September 6th to meet community needs. We are here because you ask us to be. A division of Wheeling Hospital, finding solutions, serving with care.
Students are able to get a very good education, gain some valuable experiences, and they don't have to leave or go far away to do it.
Whatever I wanted to do, I could go down to Athens and everything would transfer down.
So not only is it close to home, it's a decent price. Small classrooms and a friendly atmosphere. It just makes for a great place to start or even go all the way with the whole degree.
Ohio University Eastern. It's a new day.
You'll be pleasantly surprised at the clean and beautiful used furniture and appliances at Bob's, like this Hard Rock Maple Dining Room suite at only $5.99, or this 5-piece kitchen set. Like new and antique bed frames, new bedding, and bedroom suits. Plus recliners, tables, dressers, and lots of other items with inventory constantly changing. Appliances are priced to sell. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves, and this upright freezer at only $319. The price is right at Bob's Used Furniture and Appliances.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner. On tonight's show, we'll talk to not 2, but 3 of your Seminole players and talk about tomorrow night's home opponent, the Shenandoah Zeps. First up, Coach, we sat here last week and talked about how the Magnolia was probably the best team that we had played all year, and I saw nothing to change my thinking on that after Friday night.
Well, that's true, Jeff. We felt, too, that through the first part of the season here, the 6 opponents we played, Magnolia probably the best all-around football team that we played, especially what they did offensively at the quarterback position. We knew Sims was the key, and we knew we had to stop him, and we didn't really stop him, although they didn't put a lot of points on the board. They got 3 late on a field goal, but we kept them out of the end zone, but they got a couple on us early, and then we couldn't generate anything offensively, and he ended up getting his yards. He took some shots, but he ended up hanging in there and getting his yards both passing and running.
Well, then during the course of the game also, at the end, I had Magnolia running about 68 plays to our 40, and that's a huge differential to try to overcome no matter what the score.
That's true. They dominated the football, and we wanted it or hoped it would be the other way around. To control or contain their offense would be to control the football, and we didn't do that. They stacked a lot of people on the line of scrimmage and took away the running game, and then we didn't do anything throwing the football after we completed the first pass. But other than that, they pretty well shut us down.
I felt especially late in the game, we talk about conditioning and things like that. Our defensive line and linebackers, would have to be wearing down as the game went, chasing a quarterback all over the field like they did.
Well, that many plays, as you mentioned, they ran 60-some offensive plays, and that put your defense on the field quite a bit. And as you mentioned, he did a lot of rolling right and left. He ran the football, and that made our defense, have to move quite a bit. And they hung in there. And like I say, I was real proud of them, the fact that when they got down, close to the goal line there at the end, we didn't let them in. We forced them to kick a field goal, but at that point, things were pretty well, wrapped up.
And so, the bottom result still being a 17-0 win for the Magnolia Blue Eagles. Might mention also then that on this past Monday night, our JV team went to Magnolia and came away with a 7-0 victory, and we'll talk a little bit about that JV win with one of the players of that game, in a few minutes. When we come back, we'll have our first guest right after this.
GAP Wireless is your hometown wireless agent. That's great news for you because now you don't have to drive 30 miles or more if you have a simple problem with your cell phone. Maybe your current plan just isn't right for you and the way you use your phone. Well, GAP Wireless is your one-stop shop for wireless. Stop in to customize your plan, pick up accessories, or check out the latest audio and video streaming camera phone with a radio. GAP Wireless is an Alltel authorized agent.
Green Acres is the place to go. Garden tilling or grass to mow. Showroom spread out so far and wide. Come and see all our four-wheel rides.
Ah, the steels are what you've got to see. Chainsawing or attacking weeds. Lawn Boy and Toro are sold here too. Models for all the work you need to do.
Great advice. Good price. Service repairs. Extra care. Save a buck. You're really in luck. Green Acres, we are there.
Emergencies happen 24 hours a day. When seconds count and options matter, you need access to a facility close to home. An emergency room in a hospital with a direct link to Ohio State University medical specialists, doctors and nurses there for you 24 hours a day. The emergency services at Barnesville Hospital are ready when seconds count. What option will you choose? Urgent care with limited hours or 24-hour care from an accredited hospital? Barnesville Hospital Emergency Services.
Our first guest this evening is Billy Brobson, number 80. Billy is a senior, plays end and defensive end. Well, Billy, you're just in your second year in the Seminole football program. What made you decide to play during your junior year?
Well, I used to play football where I used to live in North Carolina, and I decided that I really wanted to play, but my first 2 years I wasn't eligible to play, so I decided to come in my junior year and give it a shot.
Well, during the course of the week, you're a member of the scout team offense. Tell people out there just exactly what is the scout team offense and what do they do?
The scout team offense is we put together what Shenandoah will run or another team will run, and we go out there, study their plays, and then we'll run it against our varsity defense.
Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, this past Monday night, JV team winning 7-0, and that one touchdown you were able to score. Tell us about the play.
Well, Coach Triffinoff sent out a halfback, and he brought in a play to run a sooner belly 6 pass, and what I do on that pass, I run a flag route, and I ran it, and Lloyd passed it to me just perfect, and I caught the ball and just ran it in.
And it had to be a big thrill, especially after the game, knowing that was the only score of the game.
Yeah.
What is the best part, in your opinion, of being a member of the Seminoles, or being a Seminole football player?
The best part, I have to say, was last year when we helped Coach Chakasa get their record.
Well, Coach, fans don't know a lot about Billy here, but I believe he's a young man who's truly happy to be a member of the Seminole team.
Well, Jeff, I'm really extremely proud of Billy because, as you mentioned, last year was his first year, and anybody knows that when you come in as a first-year player, there's a lot to learn, and being a junior, you don't have the experience of a freshman and sophomore year to know those things, and he came in last year, and I would say Billy is the ultimate team player, and I think the biggest thing is there's not too many people that would do what Billy has done, in the fact that he doesn't start on offense, he doesn't start on defense, but he's important to the football team. He's definitely a guy that tries to promote the spirit and enthusiasm on the team. I know I've been told by many different people that he tries to get everybody up on the sidelines to get the crowd up during the game, which is extremely important. You talked about the role he plays on the scout teams during the week, getting our first offense and defense ready. So that's the ultimate team player, especially when you know you're not going to get a lot of starting time on either side of the ball offensively and defensively. So I'm real proud of what Billy has done. He's a fine young man, and he's a credit not only to his family, to his school, the entire community, but he's definitely a credit to our football team, and he's the kind of guy that we like to have on our football team. So we're just tickled to death that we had an opportunity to have him last year and this year.
Well, congratulations once again on that touchdown Monday night. And so I know that had to be a great feeling. Continued good luck then. Hopefully some other good things will happen to you during the course of the year.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we'll have another guest right after this.
A good football team works together, helping each other to do their best. A good insurance agency works together too, showing you the best coverage for you and your family. FW Shoemaker Insurance Agency represents several companies, so you benefit from personally designed coverage for your home, autos, or business. Talk to one of their agents about all your insurance needs, including life insurance and annuities. As they continue to look out for your future, FW Shoemaker Agency is celebrating over 100 years of service. The Seminoles and FW Shoemaker Agency, two winning traditions.
When we first opened our doors in 1929, Marietta Memorial Hospital marked the beginning of a commitment to healthcare in our community. From the start, the vision of compassionate care has been the standard for all that we do. Through the years, Marietta Memorial has been a leader in our community with advancements in both patient care and technology. As we celebrate our 75th anniversary, we continue that commitment, working to make a measurable difference in the health of the community where we live and work.
Our next guest this evening is Kyle Rader, number 44. Kyle's a sophomore, fullback and linebacker, and this year after 5 games, he was the team's leading tackler with 35 tackles, including 3 quarterback sacks. However, bad news, I guess, from our standpoint, Kyle, an injury is going to force you to be out for a while. How did the injury happen?
Well, I was on offense in the third quarter in the Fort Fry game, and we ran a sweep to the left, but Zach Ring ran the ball, and I was the lead blocker. I took my guy out, and Stephen Habig came with me, and he just kind of fell on top of me, landed on my leg. I don't know if his knee landed on top of me, but and that caused the damage. And I went back in a few plays after that, but the pain was too much, and so I came out the sidelines.
Well, when you went to see the doctor then, in the following week, then what did they say the problem was, or exactly what did they tell you?
It's a clean break and a small bone in my left leg, and they said 6 to 8 weeks off, so I'll be on crutches for 6 to 8 weeks, and they said that I don't need a cast, so that's good, and it heals itself. I just have to stay off of it. I can't. They said the season, I can't play anymore the rest of the season, so that's kind of tough.
Now, let's go back to some more enjoyable times there during those first 5 weeks when you were playing. As a sophomore linebacker, I think you probably were feeling more comfortable with each game went by. Talk to us a little bit about the keys there. How do you know as that linebacker whether a play is going to be a running play or a passing play?
Well, you pretty much just read the quarterback. I mean, if you see him handing off to them backs, your first step is always up, and them backs have the ball, and you're keen on them, and you want to tackle them. But if QB drops back, takes a few steps back, you can tell he's going to pass, and then you step back into your pass reads, and that's about it.
And as I said before there, I'm sure with each game you're probably feeling a lot better, as that position. Well, Coach, here's the thing, each week, when you feel a young man at this age is getting better and better, and then unfortunately have something like this happen, which is going to cause him to be out the rest of the year.
Well, definitely an unfortunate break for Kyle, and an unfortunate break for our entire team in the fact that he was starting to really get comfortable with that linebacker position, and it's not an easy position to play. We felt going in that him and Buck would be our inside linebackers, and it was kind of unfortunate both of them sustained injury. Buck sustained an injury in the Buckeye Trail game, and fortunately though, Buck was able to come back the game that Kyle got hurt. Not fortunate that he got hurt, but we at least had Buck to put in there at fullback on offense and also as inside linebacker. It would just be nice to have both of those young men in there because they work well together. But Kyle was getting better each game. You could just see with the experience coming that he was reading things real well, and he's a very aggressive young man, and he's got nice size at about 190 pounds, and he was just going to get better and better, and didn't get a lot of carries on the offensive side of the ball, but I think that was going to come, and unfortunately, as we said, he sustained that broken leg in the Fort Fry game, and so that's going to sideline him for the rest of the year. But I told him that was the downside of it, not being able to play the rest of the year, and that's tough. And young men really don't realize that when they're feeling good and they're healthy and they're able to play until something happens they can't play, and then they know how much it hurts not to be able to play. But one thing I told him was, the good thing about it was that he's just a sophomore. It would have been a different story. It would have been a real big letdown had he been a senior and knowing that that was the last football that he was going to play at high school level. So he is, young. He's just a sophomore. He'll have 2 more years, and I think you're going to see a lot of big things out of Kyle. He's a coachable young man. He's a super young man, and like I say, we'll see a lot of big things out of him in the future. We just hope that he heals up, mends up good, and is ready to go next year.
Well, I'm going to say likewise here to say that, and hope that you heal well, and then hopefully next year we can sit here and have lots of good things to talk about during your junior and senior year. When we come back, we'll talk to a third guest right after this.
Most financial institutions like to talk about how big and strong they are. At Ohio Valley Community Credit Union, we'll show you just how big. Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. We're as big and strong as all of our member groups. Everyone in Belmont County and everyone in Monroe County. Ohio Valley Community Credit Union.
If you're around others that smoke, you are at risk.
Sitting behind someone who is smoking in a stadium for 3 hours is the same thing as a non-smoker smoking 1 cigarette. Riding in a car with somebody who is smoking with the windows rolled up for 1 hour is the same as a non-smoker smoking 4 cigarettes.
And sitting in the non-smoking section of a restaurant is just like smoking 1.5 cigarettes.
Your choice leaves us no choice. To learn how to protect yourself and others from secondhand smoke, call Monroe County Tobacco Use Prevention and Control at 472-1677. Would you like to break the tobacco habit? We can help. Call Tammy at the Monroe County Health Department, 472-1677, extension 204.
Our final guest of the evening is Buck Wiley. Buck is a senior, wears number 45, plays fullback and linebacker. This past Friday night at Magnolia, he had a team-high 13 tackles. And as Coach just mentioned in our previous guest there, first time full go back from injury. In that first game of the year, Buck, over Buckeye Trail, and you had an injury. Why don't you tell us what happened in that game?
Well, on the last play of the first half, I went in for a tackle, and Buckeye Trail's guy just fell right into the left side of my knee, and it just pushed my other side of my knee out, and it really hurt, but I kept going, and I went to the doctor, and they told me that I had a tear in my MCL, so.
Well, you went through quite a period there of rehab then for 3 weeks until you were cleared in order to come back to play. What's some of the stuff that they had you doing during rehab, and what was the deciding factor of when they said you were ready to come back?
Well, I went to therapy, and they did a lot of stretching on my knee, and they did a lot of strength workouts with it, and I rode the bike a lot and did a lot of backpedaling and stuff, and one day the therapist brought me out to the football field, and the coach came out, and we went through a bunch of stuff, and he gave me the okay.
So this past Friday night, which even though you had played a little bit against Fort Fry the week before, it was full go, all 100-plus snaps probably there Friday night. How did it feel this past week?
Well, my knee felt really good, but I'm just really out of shape right now.
And it's really surprising how quick a guy gets out of shape, when he sits around. Even riding the bike's not the same as football conditioning, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's completely different.
Well, one of the favorite plays that most linebackers have is the go game, which, is a blitz by, the way the TV people talk. Tell us, what is a go game and what do you do?
On a go game, if on an outside go game, it would be me and the left defensive tackle. And the defensive tackle will shoot inside, and the linebacker just goes to hold the outside, and usually it's wide open if we call it to the right side, and it's just a fun play because you can go in and make a big hit.
And old linebackers love that, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, Coach, here's young man. It's sure nice to have him back. Being he's an experienced player, especially in light of the injury then to Kyle Rader. You never have too many experienced players.
Yeah, I told our coaches the night of the Fort Fry game. I said Buck didn't come back any too soon because when Kyle sustained his injury, Buck was able to go in, and as he mentioned there, he did a lot of rehabbing. It was unfortunate he had the injury in Buckeye Trail game, and he sat out in weeks 2, 3, and 4. And then we got to go ahead for him to participate in week 5 against Fort Fry. As he mentioned, he did some workouts with the trainer in thanks to the Martin Rehab, did a great job with him. They gave him the go-ahead after seeing what he could do and wearing a brace. And then his doctor, Dr. Gaffrey, gave him the final go-ahead. And we found out, and I think Buck found out, that after back the first or second practice, of course, he was going all out, pushing himself, and he got a little bit winded, and he got a little bit sick because he was way out of shape because he hadn't done anything for several weeks. But he's in a little better shape now, probably not exactly what he wants to be, but a little better shape than he was. He was all over the field down there the other night against Magnolia. As you mentioned, he had in on a lot of tackles. So hopefully we can keep him healthy now that we've lost Kyle for the remainder of the year. We need him to stay healthy so he can stay in there at fullback, in the backfield somewhere at running back, and also on defense. So he's going to be the key to our inside linebacker position. And the other thing that Buck does is Buck provides us with some spark. He plays with enthusiasm, and he does a nice job of getting the rest of the kids up. So we're going to need that not only this week, but the remainder of the games we have left. But Buck does a great job. He's been a great kid to have around for 4 years.
Well, I appreciate you being here tonight, and it's sure good to have you back out on the field. And we need more spark and somebody to keep that defense held together here over the last few weeks, and maybe 13 tackles again this week on that end. I appreciate you being here. And when we come back, we'll look at some highlights from the Magnolia game after this.
Be a winner. Catch a great deal on a new or pre-owned car or truck at Knowlton Ford. Look at the selection in the lot or let them use their locator service to find exactly what you want. Knowltons have served Monroe County with quality Ford parts and service for 4 generations. And there's still a home light dealer offering sales, service, and parts. So why not let Mike help you reach your goal when it comes to your next vehicle? Be a winner. Shop Knowlton Ford. Dr. Jay Seidler and nurse practitioner Carol Shoemaker and the staff of Marietta Healthcare Physicians want to take this opportunity to thank all of their patients for your continued support over the past several years. Dr. Seidler and Carol are thrilled to come home and serve your healthcare needs. We're here for you Monday through Friday and accessible by phone at other times. So if you're already a patient, thank you. If not, call to make arrangements for transferring your medical records to Marietta Healthcare Physicians. Why buy it and store it when you can just ask Woodsfield True Value for the tools and equipment you need for your next project? Rent that auger, log splitter, 40-foot extension ladder, or pressure washer just in time for fall chores. If you need earth-moving equipment, hand tools, party supplies, lawn and garden tools, or stuff for automotive care, concrete work, plumbing, and so much more, help is just around the corner at Just Ask Rental, Woodsfield True Value.
We'll start tonight's highlights off with Stephen Habig at 6'5", gets the hands up and knocks down a pass.
Number 76, defensive end, Stephen Habig, a nice defensive play here. He'll string things out, and then he'll get his hands up, as we tell our defensive linemen to always try to get their hands up, make quarterback throw over top, and he does a nice job of knocking the ball down.
Here we see Nick Billman make a nice break on the ball.
Well, they've been moving the football right down the field from deep in their own territory. They line up in a trip shotgun here, and Nick will just make an outstanding play, stepping in front, diving, and making the catch for the interception to snuff their drive out.
Second play from offense for the Seminoles, Dexter Hughes teams up with Jordan Wells on a big gain.
Well, we're lined up in 4 wide receivers here in shotgun, and Dexter does a nice job throwing the ball downfield. Jordan Wells beats the outside defender, makes a nice catch, and the outside defender catches up with him around the 25-yard line, and we get the ball inside the 25, but are unable to score.
Good pressure by the Seminole front, and we're down the quarterback in the backfield.
Right here, nice play by Eddie McConnell and Stephen Habig. They try to sprint to the left, and he tries to come back and run the football. But right there, Stephen and Eddie are to make the tackle.
Defensive tackle Chris Lazier makes the play in the backfield.
Nice hit here by Chris Lazier. He stands up the ball carrier. They try to run a little trap off of the shotgun, and he gets a lot of support from a lot of other white jerseyed Seminoles.
Dexter Hughes and Nick Billman team up for a completion for a first down.
Nick split out to the right side here, and Dexter will throw the out route to Nick, and Nick will do a nice job turning it upfield. They got people in the area. 3 people converge on him, but he does pick up about 10 or 12 yards.
Defensive end Stephen Habig pulls down the quarterback.
Another nice play defensively by number 76, Stephen Habig. Does a nice job here stepping just the way he's supposed to step. They got motion coming to his side. They're out of the shotgun formation. They try to run a quarterback draw, and Stephen's right there to make the tackle on Sims.
Torrey Prickett and Stephen Habig team up to sack the quarterback.
Now, nice pressure here from both Stephen and Torrey. Torrey will come from the top of your screen here, and Stephen will come from the bottom of your screen, and they both do a nice job converging on Sims to make the sack.
Hughes to Prickett for a nice gain.
Right here we line up in a trips formation to the right side. We're operating out of the shotgun formation, and Dexter Hughes will find Torrey Prickett off the right side and pick up nice yardage.
Dexter and Torrey team up once again.
Again, operating out of 4 wides here, out of the shotgun formation. Dexter will hit number 24 right here at the bottom of your screen. Torrey Prickett to the left side. Torrey makes a nice catch here and then is tackled.
A lot of white shirts in the direction of the ball carrier.
Well, Sims goes to his right here, and we got good pursuit coming that way, and we kind of overrun him. A couple guys get a hand on him, but then we finally bring him down, wrap him up here. So he's been very elusive the whole night, and here was no exception until the end.
Here's Matt Ishii in the Magnolia backfield.
Number 53 linebacker Matt Ishii makes the initial contact. You see him come through on a go game here. Does a real nice job making it through the line of scrimmage. Gets some help from 2 or 3 other guys, and do a nice job stopping Longwell.
Free safety Cole Lewis makes his second interception in as many weeks.
Cole does a nice job stepping in front of the receiver here. They're out of the shotgun formation. Sims rolls to the right, and Stephen Habig gets a hand on him. He throws the ball out in the flat. Cole makes a nice dive and makes a nice interception.
And now let's take a look at our Citizens National Bank play of the week.
Ball on the 24. Hughes in the shotgun, drops back, steps up in the pocket, lays it out here nice. He's got Wells wide open to the 40, down to the 30. He's being chased by 4, and down he goes at the 24-yard line. He's wide open, and a nice ball by Hughes right there.
Beautifully hung pass.
The Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, home-owned and independently operated since 1933. Your community bank. Our officers, directors, and staff are dedicated to customer and community service. We reinvest your deposit dollars locally. So remember, banking with us is not only good for you, but it's good for your community. Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Bill Respect. 3/4 of a century ago, Grandma Respect made a commitment to give customers the best quality available at the best possible price. I'm happy to continue that commitment as I introduce you to Respect's new store brand, Our Family. It's as good as the national brands at a price that's even better. Well, I feel so good about Our Family brand. If you're not satisfied, we'll give you double your money back. Isn't it time your family had dinner with Our Family?
Monroe Family Health Center is and always has been a part of your community.
For almost 30 years, Monroe Family Health Center has been providing excellence in comprehensive health care in Monroe County. We invite you to visit us and take advantage of our lab, x-ray, immunization, medication assistance, and other services available in Woodsfield. All insurances, including Medicaid, are accepted with a sliding fee scale based on income and family size.
4 doctors and a nurse practitioner are ready to serve you and your family.
For over 100 years, Bauer Turner Furniture has been serving our community with quality furniture and bedding. After a big day, kick back and relax in a dual recliner sofa, or choose from living room suites featuring couches with comfy armchairs or matching recliners. Then pick the perfect coffee table and tables and lamp to suit your personality. Of course, they stock bedroom furniture to please the country, traditional, or contemporary decorator. Kitchen tables and chairs, hutches, entertainment centers, and more can be delivered to your home this week. So stop by Bauer Turner Furniture today.
Tomorrow night's opponent will be the Shenandoah Zeps, and as usual, kickoff here at Monroe Memorial Park will be 7:30. Well, Coach, looking at the Shenandoah schedule and their opponents thus far, it would appear to me that they've probably played about as tough a schedule as anybody around.
They sure have, Jeff. The Zeps are under the direction of new head coach Tim Wilson, who replaced Dan Wesson this year. This is Tim's first year as a head coach. The Zeps are 2-4, identical record to us coming in, and they have played a very tough schedule. They opened up the season with a win against Frontier, putting a lot of points on the board, 41-6. Frontier is 1-5 at this point. They traveled to Steubenville Central, and we all know that Steubenville Central Catholic has an excellent football team, 5-1, losing for the first time this past week to Warren JFK. They beat Shenandoah 28-0. In week 3, they lost to another football team that's having an outstanding year, Meadowbrook, another 5-1 football team, 36-20. In week 4, they lost to another excellent football team, Harrison Central, 5-1 also. Just defeated Wheeling Central this past week. They defeated Shenandoah 44-13. And next week they lost to Barnesville, who we know is coming on strong. They've lost 2 ball games. They lost the first 2 games of the year. They've won 4 straight in a row. They defeated Shenandoah 24-14. And then the Zeps got back on the winning track this past week after being down 21-6 to Buckeye Trail. They end up winning that game 22-21, went for 2 at the end of the game after scoring and won 22-21. So the Zeps are coming over here on a winning note with identical 2-4 record with us. They've scored 110 points, averaging 18.3 per game, and they've given up 159 against some quality opponents, giving up an average of 26.5. So they're definitely a good football team and much better than what their record indicates.
Now, when they take the field on offense, if memory serves me right, they have quite a few people back from last year. It's a very, very veteran football team.
Well, we all know, Jeff, that Shenandoah's football program is definitely the last several years has been on the rise. They got things together several years ago and had some outstanding football teams, had some outstanding players, have been in the playoffs, and they do have a few kids back from last year's excellent football team, and so those kids will be their leaders. And, of course, their leading player probably is running back Sean Lively, because of some great running backs over there. Did not get as many carries maybe last year or the year before that he deserved or could have, but he's their go-to guy on offense as far as their ball carrier. He's number 36. He's a senior, 5'10", 195. He runs extremely hard. He's carried the ball 62 times for 337 yards, so he's a guy that we'll have to try to slow down a little bit. The other guys in the backfield, quarterback Josh Kogel, he is a quarterback that may not impress you with a lot of big statistics, and he may not have great or tremendous overall speed, but he gets the job done. I think a perfect example of that was last week against Buckeye Trail, being down 21-6. He stepped up big in the second half and made some tremendous plays, completing some crucial passes, and also running the football when he had to. He's number 10. He's a junior, 5'10", 150. He's 29-79, throwing the football for 494 yards, 3 interceptions, and 3 touchdowns. But we'll have to be concerned about him not only throwing but also running, because he can run the football. They alternate a couple guys at tailback, although sometimes they'll be in a one-back set, and you may see Lively just as the only remaining back. But a couple other guys that will get some action in the backfield will be Travis Moore, number 25, a senior, 5'9", 165. Has 34 carries, 218 yards, caught a couple passes for 55. And he was injured like 2 weeks ago, didn't play against Barnesville, but he was back in action this past week against Trail, so they'll have his services along with Joey Wheeler, a sophomore, 5'10", 160 at the tailback. They've got some nice receivers. Their leading receiver is their tight end. He's a big guy, junior, Zach Gress, 6'4", 185, 14 catches, 195 yards, 13.9 average per catch, and he scored a TD. They like to go to him. He's their tight end, although they will sometimes move him out. Chris Crock is another fine receiver, number 1, senior, 5'9", 165, 5 catches, 106 yards, 21.2 yards per catch average, and 1 touchdown. And Cody Johnson is a freshman, 5'10", 150, number 7. He's also a backup quarterback. He's a receiver. Up front, they got some beef up there. They usually have some pretty nice-sized young men. Horn is a returner. He's played for 2 or 3 years. number 58, 6'1", 225. They got a big tackle on the one side. They'll flip-flop him. John Weir, 6'2", 300 pounds, number 64. And they got a couple other guys in there that are nice size. They'll do a nice job for them. So, they're the typical Shenandoah football team. They're big up front. They like to run the football. They'll run the double wing, they'll double flanker. They'll run some crossing routes. They like to run the trap. They like to run the Redskin special, what we call Redskin special, little counter play. They also like to run the draw, and they like to roll their quarterback and throw off of that and also run. So a lot of things we'll have to prepare for and be ready for. This is a football team, as I said, is much better than their 2-4 record.
And on the defensive side of the ball, I believe that their head coach, Coach Wilson, was their defensive coordinator in the past on that, and it seems like every year you go down there, not only are they big on the offensive side of the ball, but they're bigger than big as far as their defensive front.
Yes, they are. They're very big up front. They're 2 down tackles. Elliott, 6 foot 265, number 73, a junior, and a senior, Matt Miller, 6'1", 260, anchor that inside on their defense. And then they have Oppenheimer, 6'2", 185 at one end, Josh Horn, 6'1", 225 at the other end. So they got some size up front and their front people. They basically play the same defense as you mentioned. Coach Wilson was the defensive coordinator, so not changing anything from last year, either offensively or defensively. They play a 40 on defense, but they'll move those outside linebackers up, Croc and Gress, and it'll give you an appearance of a 6'2 defense with inside linebackers Lively, and they alternate a couple other guys at the other linebacker in Hupp and Densmore. In the secondary, Kogel, Wheeler, and Travis Moore line up there. They've given up some yardage. Rushing-wise, they've given up 1,245 yards, an average of 207.5 per game, and passing 765, an average of 127.5. But the thing is, you need to look at, when you look at a team's stats that they've given up, you got to look at who they played. And we mentioned before, they played some excellent football teams, 3 5-1 teams, and 1 4-2 team, all good football teams. So that's a little different story. On the offensive side of the ball, they've rushed the ball for 624 yards, an average of over 100 yards per game, and also just around 100 passing, 582, an average about 97. Offensively then, combined rushing and passing, they're averaging about 185 yards, both rushing and passing. So another challenge to our defense, but the key is going to be we have to do something offensively, which we did not last week, and in order to win, we've got to move the football, we've got to control the ball a little more, we've got to put some points on the board.
And it seems like, in the last few years, Shenandoah plays one of their best ball games against us week 7. They've spoiled our party several times.
They sure have, Jeff. They've played excellent football against us, and like I say, they've come over here and we've gone over there, and they've had some pretty good football teams. So I'm sure they're going to be fired up since they tasted victory last week, trying to get their 3rd win as we're trying to do. So it's going to be a dogfight, no doubt.
Well, that's tomorrow night. Kickoff at 7:30, the Shenandoah Zeps, both teams going for win number 3. When we come back, we'll wrap up a few items right after this.
You'll be pleasantly surprised at the clean and beautiful used furniture and appliances at Bob's, like this Hard Rock Maple Dining Room suite at only $5.99, or this 5-piece kitchen set. Like new and antique bed frames, new bedding, and bedroom suites. Plus recliners, tables, desks, dressers, and lots of other items with inventory constantly changing. Appliances are priced to sell. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves, and this upright freezer at only $319. The price is right at Bob's Used Furniture and Appliances.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Celebrate 44 years with Doan Ford and experience the difference of having the largest Ford inventory in the area, state-of-the-art showroom, state-of-the-art collision center, award-winning service department, a staff that treats you like family, and the Ohio Valley's premier Ford dealership. Doan Ford has been here for 44 years and is ready to serve the community for 44 more. Find out why everyone is saying,
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell believe in supporting our kids. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. And proud to offer 24-hour drive-through service. McDonald's food whenever you're hungry.
This is the receiver of the Woodsfield Redskins, and I'm loving it.
Stop by and try McDonald's latest chicken premium sandwiches.
We're loving it.
So before or after the big game, celebrate at McDonald's. Since 1887, folks have trusted Woodsfield Savings Bank with their financial needs. So when you need someone to lead you with your financial decisions, come to the friendly folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank where customers count. Because of your busy schedule, we offer a drive-through and night deposit box, as well as convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. The folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank truly believe that making an investment in our kids brings the biggest return to our community.
Before we wrap things up for tonight, though, Coach, you want to talk a little bit about some of your former players that are performing at the college level.
Yes, Jeff, I'm extremely proud of several young men that are playing at the collegiate level this year. If you look at Muskingum College, they got a big win this past week against Baldwin Wallace. We got 3 young men that are participating and playing over there. Tyler Shoemaker, who has done a nice job on special teams. Sam Miller, who I understand had a big game with 10 or 12 tackles a week before and is playing at inside linebacker. Tyler Graham, just a freshman, who I understand was playing on special teams and unfortunately had an injury and may have broken a finger or hand this past week, and so he'll probably be out. But proud of all 3 of those young men. We have Gabe Gordon that's playing at Geneva. He played there last year, and he's, as I understand, doing a nice job up at Geneva. And at Mount Union, we have 2 young men that are on the Mount Union football squad, who everyone knows is an outstanding football team, has won like 108 straight regular season games in a row, and several national championships. Starting quarterback for Mount Union is Michael Joris. He's had several very good ball games so far. I had an opportunity to see him the last couple weeks, and this past week he threw for 301 yards, completed 16 to 26 passes, and a couple touchdowns. And one came at a real crucial time when Mount Union was down. He threw an 83-yard touchdown pass. And then also Josh Ishii is playing on special teams. He had a little problem with his ankle there a couple weeks ago, but he was back in uniform this past week. So real proud of all of our young men that have gone on and are playing at that level, but I'm really proud of the fact that they're going on to further education.
Well, it sure is nice, to have some young men out there and get the name Monroe Central out around. And, we're pretty well known, I think, around the state, but it's nice to see our players performing well. It sure is. So now as far as the wrap-up for this show and as far as the game on tomorrow night against the Shenandoah Zeps, remember pre-sale tickets are available. They'll be available during the day tomorrow at Monroe Central High School, at Woodsfield Elementary School, at Skyview Elementary School, and also the Marathon here on Eastern Avenue. In advance, those tickets are $3 for students and for $3 for senior citizens. They're $4 in advance for adults, and at the gate, all tickets cost $5. So take advantage of that and get your ticket ahead of time. The game will be aired tomorrow night on radio station WWKC. That's 104.9. The usual announcers for that station, Dave Anderson and Herb McConnell, will have the play-by-play. And then Saturday morning at 11 a.m., join myself and whomever we can find, and probably could be Tim Price, could be Chad Briggs, and we'll bring the game to you on Saturday morning. This past week, sideline board winners. First quarter winner is Tim Childress. Halftime winner to Weber Drug. Third quarter, Troy Kemp. And final score, repeat, Weber Drug. And those people can pick up your checks uptown at Traditions Restaurant. And then being a home game, we have the usual home activities going on here prior to the game. Sausage sandwiches for sale over here behind the Marathon station. 50-50 drawing. That's always a real nice prize there as far as compared to what some other places have. Football moms will have game ball tickets, and also get your game programs there, as I believe we'll have a few prizes, with the lucky number on the game program. Coach, they're talking about the weather being a little bit cool. You got any of those sweatshirts left?
Oh yeah, we got some real nice items left, Jeff. that they'll have, weather permitting, they'll have a tent set up and they'll have those items for sale. So as the weather cools down, if you need a jacket, you need a pullover, you need a sweatshirt, long sleeve t-shirt, we'll have some of those items for sale. So make sure you bring a few extra bucks with you to the game and you can pick up some of that Seminole gear. Also want to remind everybody, if you haven't got your renewal in on your 200 club membership, you need to do that so you'll be eligible for the giveaway on the color TV, or you can take the money if you have plenty of TVs. Also, we want to remind those people that have not been in a 200 club before, if you'd like to get in, we'd love to have you in. So get in touch with me, get in touch with one of the sideliners, and we'll give you all the details about getting in. And then also the date on that Seminole Supper is in the Super Seminole Supper coming up. The football moms are sponsoring that. That'll be held after the Frontier game on Sunday the 23rd at 1 o'clock at Swiss Hills, and that's a nice event. They'll have the young men that play for us do the serving. They'll serve a nice meal. They're going to have some entertainment. They'll have a country store. And if you're interested in attending that, see one of the football moms to purchase your ticket. That is a real nice event that takes place, and that'll be on the 23rd of October. Well, lots of events coming up and lots of activities on a home game, and the Seminoles will be at home 3 of the final 4 weeks, with only the road trip the following week to Barnesville. And as we said a couple of weeks ago, it's sure nice to be back home and around familiar surroundings, and if the home field treats us as good as it did a couple of weeks ago, we'll be in good shape. Well, we hope so, Jeff. You know, it seems like we've been on the road all the time because our 2 scrimmages against Strasburg and Wheeling Central and Ferry were on the road this year. So with most of the home games out of the road, with the exception of Barnesville, it is going to be nice to be home 3 of these last 4 games. So our field's in great shape. We're hoping for decent weather, and they're saying a little rain, maybe turn a little cooler, but hopefully it's just a nice crisp football night. Well, kickoff tomorrow night is at 7:30 as usual, and we want to urge everybody to come out here, regardless of the weather, and support this team. Come, rain or shine or whatever, this team deserves your support. And I know that if we were 6-0 right now, everybody would be out there. So please don't leave us just because we've lost a couple of ball games. And I want to wish everyone some good luck, coach, and thank the players that were in with us tonight. And we'll have 2 or 3 players with us again next week as we'll recap this Shenandoah game. So I hope to see you tomorrow night at the ballpark. Good night.